Good morning, traders. Let's have a look at what Bitcoin is offering us today. Seems to be some migration across on the 2048 down to the 512 to see that continuation of what we saw yesterday is happening. Now my eyes are looking at the thinning of this oscillator here on the 512. So we want that to open out a bit and continue down for this to be a forecast that unravels. Another alternative, of course, is that we've hit a turning point and that we're moving to the upside. Either way, I wouldn't recommend trading because it's inside a kill zone, or alternatively in a place of, I'd say, non-clarity, if I can call it that. Just be a bit careful as always, I suppose, with your open positions for those reasons. And I'm sure if you've been trading over the last day or so, you would have felt the frustration that comes in when getting caught into lowered liquidity, that stress generating market movements, just kind of like moving to the side, bobbing up and down. And yeah, it's really stressful for those who have open positions in those conditions, because there's this angst and this uncertainty that builds up in you in terms of like, you've done your analysis, you know what's going to happen next, but it's not happening. And then it just kind of gets closer to your stop loss, and then it gives you some relief, and then close to your stop loss and gives you some release, and it just does it for an extended period of time where you just kind of like melt because you're not necessarily sure what's going to happen next. Even though your forecast says this, it's just really testing you. So for anyone who's had an open position with Bitcoin over the last day or so, here's hoping that Bitcoin is going to open up and give you better opportunities to profit from, to make up for the anguish that it's put you through. On the 128, the question remains, are we done here, or is this a continuation? I'm really not a fan of this structure. It takes, I'd imagine, some guesswork to try to figure it out. I want to try put on a up transition over here to see what could be happening. Also, more of an advanced tool called the protractor. Change the scaling a bit just to investigate certain options. Not too much confluence is sticking out when moving those around. So I'm going to go back to suggesting that we're not quite done yet with this down transition. Of course, hoping to get some relief over the next 24 hours. Alright, so a big question mark on Bitcoin today. Remember to protect your capital first and foremost. You don't need to be trading every single move that the market has to offer. Well, the good news though is just seeing my red arrow that we laid down yesterday, it looks as if we've commanded the market on what to do next. So that's a good feeling. Let's bring down that transition, see where it ended off. So 2 would be around about there. And then this big kill zone, looking for turning point 3 and then potentially turning point 4. So this could be offering us some insight to suggest that Bitcoin will be continuing down, which I think feeds into what we've been seeing with the higher frames. Always a good idea, guys, to go to your market overwatch and have a look at what the trends and transitions are telling you. If you get a little bit overwhelmed or overworked on the markets, the overwatch is there just to simplify what you're seeing, and for you just to get a clearer picture of where the underlying energy force is heading. Right now we're getting a whole bunch of down. I need to update the 2 minutes and 8 minutes, which I haven't done just yet, and I'll do it on my own accord, as that's more of a day trading strategy. That's it for the updates today, guys. If there is anything I can suggest, my recommendation is to ensure that you're following the rules. It's easy to take shortcuts. However, those who take shortcuts pay the price. On every transition, you should be completing the MTOPS criterion. And if you're not, at least do market structure and time and price. Those are your core non-negotiables. You can't skip those, okay? Super important. Ideally try to do as much as possible, because the magic is inside the MTOPS criterion. You can't ignore it, and make sure that you're following it at every transition, especially those who present themselves the transitions to trade from. Okay, so make sure you're always MTOPS criterion. I can tell you right now, if you follow that advice, you're going to be absolutely golden in the trading realm. That's it for today. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Ciao.